It really is a stupid season. I'm telling you, there's a lot of damn idiotic articles. And that's not even counting all the stuff going on with Donald Trump and how that's going to turn out. Or about the upcoming midterms. And the Democrats may fare much better than was previously predicted, thanks to the Republicans screwing up. And this is one of the reasons why they're screwing up, is because they have this bozo that was actually educated at Stanford and Harvard. So much for, you know, supposedly the brainy people go to those elite schools. Well, this jackass, a black guy of all people, wants to believe that the world or the United States went down the crapper the minute women got suffrage. And this is a black man, right? What the hell? You know, I mean, I guess he doesn't even think even black women are 3/5 of a person. They're just non-people, period. To say nothing of white women and Asian women and Latino women and all that stuff. Latinos. No, they're just not smart enough to know about politics. But this was back in the early 2000s, this guy Gibbs, and he created some idiot outfit and he claimed that women didn't possess the characteristics necessary to govern, and that men were smarter than women because they're more likely to think logically about broad and abstract ideas. Oh, that's so stupid. That's so damn stupid. But, you know, if you're going to run for public office, you better look at your entire digital footprint, because this shit never goes away. See, I couldn't run for public office and do worth a damn because I have a tremendous presence on the internet. I mean, there's tons of crap they could get me on. And so you never, if you've ever opened your mouth or done something stupid like this guy did, it's going to kill you. So this guy's probably dead in the water. His spokesperson said that he believes actually these days women should be allowed to vote and work. But yeah, he's kind of cooked. So that's the end of old Gibbs. And then there was this article, and this is thanks to Democratic Underground. They put it on archive. And of course, this writer was the one that was outed by libs of TikTok a while back. There was all that big dust up. But apparently the incel movement is getting more violent and extreme. And this is a report by the Center for Countering Digital Hate. And it found a marked spike in conversations about mass murder and growing approval of sexually assaulting prepubescent girls. Isn't this horrible? But you know, they always talk about feminists being man-haters and all that bunch of gaslighting shit. But you know who the real haters are. It's these guys. Because they think women owe them. They won't work on them. They won't work on themselves at all to be more palatable. No, they just figure, I don't have to do anything. And the women could spot this stuff 10 miles away. These screwed up guys. And so, screwed up, entitled, porn sick guys. And so, they don't want anything to do with them. But these guys think that they're owed. And not just any woman, by the way. They got to be the hot ones, right? The Stacys or whatever the hell. And their idiot, whatever, mythology. But anyway, this is a novel, new violent extremist movement born in the internet age, which defies the usual characteristics of violent extremist movements that law enforcement and the intelligence community are usually used to. Our study shows that it is this, according to this Imran Ahmed, who's the founder and CEO of the CCDH. Our study shows that it's organized, has a cogent ideology, and clearly concluded that raping women, killing women, and raping children is a clear part of the practice of their ideology. These guys, yeah, they need to be watched by both law enforcement and the Butterfly Patrol. And it's always women's fault. Yeah, of course, it's because they think they're owed. You know, it's so great being my age, and I don't have to deal with this crap. Deal with these damned idiots. And then, according to this analysis, members of the forum posted this particular forum they studied, and it was the Incel forum. They post about rape every 29 minutes, and more than 89% of posters support rape and say it's acceptable. The CCDH analysis also found that posters on the forum are seeking to normalize child rape. Well, what the hell? They want to, you know, we've got this kind of philosophy that says, you know, let's decriminalize sex crimes. Because after all, it's the stigma that's the problem, not the act. All that postmodernist shit. All this queer theory shit. And it's really evil and it's insidious. And more than a quarter of members of the forum have posted pedophilia keywords, the analysis found. And more than half of the members of the forum support pedophilia. See, this is the thing that really angers me. And, you know, I hope that law enforcement is following these people, because they need to be taken off the streets, at the very least. So anyway, that was kind of a disturbing article. And I suppose I probably could look up the original article or original report. So anyway, yeah, and of course YouTube is misogyny central even now, and they need to, these are the ones they need to kick off the platform, because it's terrorism. But violence against women and children they're still not taken seriously by our culture. So anyway, and then they talk about kiwi farms, and of course that's where she degenerates into wokeism. So anyway, I thought I'd just point to that about the incels. And then there's the affidavits. They found that there are more pregnant minors were raped in Ohio, and they were denied abortions there. So documents describe dozens of painful situations under abortion restrictions there. And it was at least 2 more minors were pregnant through rape and were forced to leave Ohio to avoid having their rapist babies. And then there were other cases of other really bad situations about women who where the abortion law, they said there was at least more than 24 other instances which the abortion law in Ohio put women under extreme duress. And it says here the descriptions include those of 3 women who threatened suicide. They also include 2 women with cancer who couldn't terminate their pregnancies and also couldn't get cancer treatment while they were pregnant. Another 3 examples were of women whose fetuses had severe abnormalities or other conditions that made a successful pregnancy impossible. Even so, they couldn't get abortions in Ohio. In 3 cases, debilitating vomiting was caused by pregnancy so bad in one case that a woman couldn't get off the clinic floor. But neither could these women get abortions in Ohio, the affidavit said. The documents were filed in the case, preterm Cleveland versus Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. Having already gotten a temporary order restraining enforcement of the abortion law, Senate Bill 23, clinics across Ohio are now seeking a preliminary injunction. In doing so, they're arguing that SB 23 is so onerous that it violates women's due process rights under the Ohio Constitution. Well, you know, they don't give a shit. U.S. Supreme Court doesn't give a shit. Nobody gives a shit about women. So there was that. And then, of course, the best is saved for last, or the worst. And, you know, Karen Davis and a lot of other people have talked about this. This has made worldwide news. And about this dude that was wearing these massive fake breasts and to work. And he was a teacher doing this. And, of course, no woman could ever get away with that kind of crap. I mean, they would be reprimanded, at the very least. They would be told, they would be given a warning, polite warning probably, and then if they persisted, a reprimand, maybe even a suspension. This dude and he's in Canada, but he has managed to con the board there, the school board there, to support him at the expense of the kids and other faculty members and parents. Because, you know, Canada, as we remember from the Yaniv case, that Jonathan Yaniv, that they have those tribunals, the human rights tribunals. And so people put in a complaint for discrimination or whatever, and they could wind up with a settlement. And the offender could end up, whether an individual or an organization or business, could wind up paying a fine. And so this guy is just literally daring them to get rid of him or force him to take that garbage off. But he would never get away with it. And I could say with almost certainty, he would never get away with this in the United States. There would be so much blowback from parents, it wouldn't happen. He'd be run the hell out of town. And this guy apparently is a veteran teacher. He's 50-ish or something. I don't think they say how old he is. But anyway, the kids were very uncomfortable, and so the video clips have been shared all over Twitter and other social media, and this is right before they went back to school. So this man goes by the fake name Kayla Lemieux or whatever the hell. The kids here most definitely don't think it's normal, but realistically we can't say anything, one student said on Twitter. Last year the teacher was a man. I don't think the school can fire him. And Lemieux is listed with the faculty directory on this particular school, high school website. His official school email address is also connected to a Google account which has a photo visually verifying his identity. Oh my God. And he's still employed there. So Oakville Trafalgar High School. And the school board has been promoting gender ID in schools in recent years. So it's another one that's playing wokey doke. But we'll see what happens to him, if anything. He's getting almost as much publicity as Liar Thomas. So, but the bad news is that it's Canada, and Canada is just so far down the rabbit hole on this garbage that it remains to be seen if anything will happen to this guy. I hope the parents just really raise hell over this, because this is sexual harassment here. Making students uncomfortable, making staff uncomfortable, and then it's sexual assault for the same thing. And can you imagine if this guy, if he hadn't put on the fake boobs, and if he went around in blackface, do you think he would even have a job? Even in Canada or in the United States? Do you think that guy would even have a job? Hell no, he'd be gone. He'd be reassigned, at the very least reassigned. But likely he would be gone. But go out and impersonate women, go out and ridicule women, almost begging to be fired or to be somehow reprimanded, because he's going to go to the tribunal if that happens. Just think about this. It's like he's doing it to taunt him, and I bet he is. Anyway, that is all.